Welcome back, season 4, episode 3. Today, we're talking about this baby. You! Before we dive into the edit, I wanted to give whoever hasn't seen this video a quick backstory on the van so we're all on the same page. Real quick, I just want to give you guys a rundown as to why van life. When I was 19 years old, I moved out of the house for the first time and I was renting a room from a friend, and it was kind of my first time being alone, being independent, and there was something holding me back from being independent, and I couldn't figure out what it was. But what I was really struggling with was not having a space for all of my belongings. I had some stuff in my mom's and my grandma's and my friends and another friend's, and having all your stuff everywhere makes it hard to feel like you're at home anywhere. I had this epiphany that if I got a van, I could essentially have all my belongings in one space, and then it would feel more like home wherever I was traveling to. In April of 2021, I flew out to New York to buy this 2009 Dodge Sprinter 3500 170-inch wheelbase extended. It was the big boy, the mother load, the exact one I wanted. So after paperwork and a test drive, I sign on the dotted line, give the check away, and we're driving from New York to Michigan to link up with a buddy for some dinner. When I was about 30 minutes out from his place, there was a knocking in the engine. I figure, all right, it's too late, I'm exhausted, I'll just deal with it tomorrow. Wake up the next day, it's about 7, 8 in the morning, and I'm driving all over Michigan for hours looking for a mechanic that will hopefully just at least look at the engine to tell me if I can keep driving on it or if I need to do some work on it. After about 4 or 5 hours of that, it's noon, maybe 1 o'clock. I finally find a mechanic that'll look under the hood and figure out what's going on. Once I pull up there, it takes him about 30 minutes to an hour to actually come up to the van. Mind you, this was such an awkward place to be. I am stuck in this random ass repair shop. The mechanic says, give me a minute, I'll go finish this project, come right back, we'll dive in and get you on your way. He finally comes back after about 4 or 5 hours, dives into it and says, there's nothing I can do. I can't get to this until Sunday. And it was Thursday. He looks at it and he says, okay, I think I know what's going on. It's a fuel injector issue, which is pretty common with diesel engines at 150 miles. So he says, but we have to order the part. It should be here tomorrow or the next day. So I got there on Thursday, and it wasn't until Tuesday that he got the part, got it in, and then I was on my way. So from Michigan, I drove 10 hours to Iowa and then another 10 hours to Colorado, which was probably the worst sleeping experience of my life. Mind you, there was 14 seats in here. I had only a sleeping bag and I had to sleep directly on the floor. It was -3 degrees and I probably got 3 hours of sleep before I just decided, all right, I'm just gonna get on the road and head to Utah. After spending a night in Utah, I would wake up the next day and head west to California, where I would get this thing registered and start building it out, and it can only go up from here, right? Wrong. After 4 or 5 months in the mechanic, I finally get my van back, take it to get smog, passes smog, we're good to go. I go to the DMV and they say, you have to go to the CHP office and get it inspected by an officer. But it was 2 months out until I could get an appointment in November. So I take it to the CHP officer in November for my inspection, drive it back to the DMV. The DMV says, okay, now you just need to go get it weighed. Apparently, the officer wrote it down as a commercial vehicle, which, as you can tell, it is far from a commercial vehicle. So I call the CHP officer. He says, oh, just bring it by. I'll sign a different letter and then you'll be good to go. So I drive back to the valley, get the CHP officer signature, come back to the DMV the next day, and finally get my plates 7 months later. Oh my gosh. So after 7 long, frustrating, stressful months, I finally had it registered. It's time to build this thing out. But I had no money, no tools, and no resources. What the hell did I sign myself up for? I was so frustrated at this point. I started losing my marbles. And it started raining a bunch. There was a leak and there was all these problems and I was just losing it. After a couple months of dealing with that, I ended up moving back to Truckee in January of 2022. After a year and a half of saving up, I drove down to SoCal in May of 2023 this year to link up with my girlfriend's stepbrother who would help me put in the upgrades that you're gonna see in today's video. Got Evan with me. Redo the whole floor, redo the bed. Last puzzle piece. Will it fit? Oh shit! Let's go. Booyah, baby. Ciao! Cut it off, you know, really mellow, not a big gnarly job or anything. You weren't expecting that, huh?
I thought you were spotting a bug.
Now for the moment of truth. Will she fit?
We forgot to cut the hole for the emergency exit.
Precision, baby.
Have your feet underneath while you're doing your dishes.
Woo!
Oh, she gonna barely fit.
That is a wrap on today's adventure. We got quite a bit more to go, obviously, but
No, we got a screw.
feels like a productive day. I must say.
We gotta drill it in.
Don't tell them that. Dude, you're not supposed to tell them.
Okay, redo it.
No, okay. So that completes today. It was an epic experience. Thanks for being here, you know. Like, we got the floor in. It's insulated and shit, so my feet ain't gonna be cold or they ain't gonna be hot. Depends on the weather, you know. But right now, we're stoked. No, but for real, that was a pretty productive day, I will say. We stripped everything, got the insulation in, the floors in. We're going to paint them tomorrow and drill them in tomorrow and then get on to the next project. So thank you guys for watching today, and we'll see you next week. Ciao! Or tomorrow. Or maybe. I don't even know. Do you even know? I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know. But maybe we'll see you later. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Maybe we'll see you next week. Who knows? You know? Te crece.